Welcome to Scream Queen's Horror Movie Road Trip Podcast.
We're doing a special Minnesota off-road Minnesota.
Off-road Minnesota.
Number 2.
This means it's going to be shorter.
Yeah, guys. So just a little backstory to our off-road Minnesota.
Let's take it back.
We covered this movie. It was our second
episode. So, we're talking about Sleepaway Camp.
Hello to all of our Sleepaway Camp lovers out there.
As you know, we love it. It was our second episode of this crazy podcast. I haven't gone back and listened to that episode in forever.
No.
I don't even remember, really what we say, what we do. I remember we had, a technical difficulty when we recorded back in the day.
What's funny is that my brother just recently
told
me that he listened for the first time to this episode, the second episode. So I was like, oh!
That second episode was nearly 3 years ago.
We've definitely grown.
Yeah, back in the day when we were just solely on YouTube and on ScreamQueensPodcast.com. Now we're on every podcast format you can think of. But yes, we drove down to Texas tonight, to Richardson, Texas, which is near Dallas, to go to the Alamo to see Felissa Rose at a 35mm screening of Sleepaway Camp.
And we heard whispers of this. Not really whispers. It was completely
They straight
projected.
up told us, yeah.
It was, we heard whispers of it at Frightmare, that this was going to be happening. We didn't know when. And so we immediately, the day we heard it, we were watching the Alamo Draft House Richardson website to see when are they going to drop these tickets.
And finally, by Tuesday or so, let's say Frightmare ended on a Sunday. By Tuesday, we found out the screening was Saturday. We got our front row seat tickets. Now we're sitting in the parking lot after the screening, hence why we're calling it an off-road minisode, because it's going to be a short episode where we're just sitting in the car. We're not driving anywhere right now, guys.
We're not going nowhere. Do you guys remember the last minisode? Well, it's just like that, but different.
Yeah, in episode 2, we took you guys out near Tulsa to Locust Grove to, I can't remember the name of the camp. I think it was maybe Camp Scott.
Yes.
But it was the location where the infamous
Girl
Scout murders in the late 70s took place.
Yeah.
If you want to check out more info about it, there's a really creepy documentary that is narrated by, of all people, Johnny Cash. You can find that on YouTube just by typing in
Girl Scout murders, Oklahoma.
It's a very infamous case. Took the country by storm in the late 70s. These poor little girls were murdered at a Girl Scout camp near Tulsa. It's never been solved. The details of the case are extremely creepy.
Yes.
So if you want to know more about that, listen to that. If you want to hear our take on all things Sleepaway Camp, listen to episode 2. But don't judge us. It was only our second episode.
We were babies back then.
We were babies.
Okay, but here we are. We're in the lot, and we want to tell you guys what we just experienced because it was magic.
You know what? I was honestly expecting the print to look a little worse because we've gone to 35mm screenings in the past, and sometimes you can tell that maybe the film has degraded a little bit. We saw Scream on I-35.
Well,
that's an interstate.
Yeah, but we drove on I-35.
We saw it on 35mm a few years ago with Nev Campbell doing a Q&A after, which was amazing. But the print looked really dark. Do you remember that, Justine?
Yeah, and I'll say, just because I managed a movie theater for a long time that did run 35mm print for a long time, it was dusty.
Yeah, it was definitely dark and dusty. And I saw Scream back in 1996, 97, 2 times in the theater. And then, I've watched it countless times on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, all the different variations of formats. So I knew that movie looked too dark. But it was still cool. And tonight was amazing because the movie didn't look too dark.
No.
It was a really pristine print, I would say.
Courtesy of Fangoria.
Yeah, Fangoria was hosting. Fangoria is established in Dallas.
Yes, their publishing warehouse is here. Their vault, as they call it, where they keep all their movie prints.
Back issues, slides.
All kinds of things. It's remarkable, almost the kind of curating that they do at Fangoria. The different 35mm prints and just kind of all-encompassing. Fangoria, even during their hiatus from print, kept horror in the forefront.
Yeah, I can remember a few years ago, one of our first Texas Frightmare weekends we went to, part of being, I think we got premium tickets that year. Part of getting the premium tickets is we were supposed to get copies of Fangoria. And remember, that was when they were like going through their troubled times. I remember we got like maybe 2 issues, and then all of a sudden we got an email saying like, sorry, Fangoria is like going under, there's not going to be any more. I remember we were really bummed.
Yeah.
And so the news that they were coming back last year was just like, what? It's like Fangoria came back. Joe Bob Briggs came back last year. It was just like...
It's been amazing.
80s horror revival. Not even 80s.
No,
Joe
even
Bob's
not.
like 90s,
no, we were 90s kids. Yeah. My mom was pretty strict about all that stuff. So now being an adult, I feel like now I can finally... participate in
all things horror
that I saw as a kid, but growing up in Oklahoma as like a Baptist kid, you did not get to participate in.
I was not a Baptist kid, so I got to watch Monster Vision every Friday. So, and, you know, honestly, my mom,
sorry for me.
My mom was very supportive of the horror stuff. She would take me in the 90s to see all the movies, so it was kind of fun. But back to the Sleepaway Camp screening.
Yeah.
It looked phenomenal. It was the funniest I've ever seen the movie. Like, just being around the crowd, everybody laughing. We had a really cool dude next to us who was
all out in cosplay, yes.
And he was cracking up, having a good time.
He was dressed as Ricky.
I believe he said his name was Bryce. Bryce, if you ever hear this, hello.
Bryce,
got to talk to you.
Something. We've had so many Lone Star.
We had a bunch of beers. We got a beer bucket. We had cocktails before. We are feeling good.
Guys, we definitely
don't worry though. We are safe.
Ourselves.
We would never drive drunk.
No.
So we're sitting out in the parking lot sobering up.
Yes, we've had waters, we've had coffee, we know
we're ready to get back on the road.
The drill. We drive safe.
We drove 3 hours for the screening. You know, we live in Oklahoma City. We drove down to Dallas, which is, you know, it's really not that bad of a drive. It's a straight shot on Interstate 35. It was worth coming down. We saw a good Instagram friend, Mermy Jacquard, Josh Jacquard, if you're out there listening. Hello. It was great to finally meet you. We always see you at Frightmare from afar.
And wave.
But yeah, I think we saw you coming off.
We shook your hand this time.
Yeah, we got to shake your hand and talk to you for a bit today, which is really nice.
Which is something we love to do. We want to meet you all. Like, that's what we're doing this for, is to meet fellow horror lovers. If you're out there, hit us up.
Hashtag horror community, bitches.
Forever. Okay, guys. So we got to see it on 35mm print. Not only did we get to watch Sleepaway Camp, but we were front row. We got Fangoria magazines. The newest issue was sitting in front of us. We sat down. I was in seat number 7, row 1.
Yeah, we were row 1, seats 7 and 8, and we sat down in our Fangorias. Sitting, and we're like, are these really for us?
We did not know that either.
I subscribe, so I'll give my issue to some
friends,
awesome horror loving friend who deserves it
for sure.
But that was really exciting, just getting free Fangoria.
Yeah, I kind of loved that. Like I think what I appreciated the most is that, like, you know, just a couple years ago they were suffering when it came to like publishing and being in print, and here they are, and it seems like they're flourishing. It seems like we're in a new renaissance when it comes to horror, and Fangoria is at the forefront. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, I'm really loving this time in horror.
Yes, for sure. We saw some really awesome trailers for some up-and-coming movies that are coming out. I'm really excited about, but getting to see Sleepaway Camp on the big screen with a crowd of people that loved it.
And it was really cool because Felissa Rose introduced the movie. Then they did a really awesome Q&A at the end. Everybody was cheering when the movie ended. You know, that reveal is just iconic at this point.
The dick!
She got a big dick. Actually, she looks a little cold in the film.
And she even like, you know, revealed a little bit about the stand-in for that. The person that had to film the whole penis episode and how that was for him. But also just like so we just recently did Frightmare and got to see Felissa. Every time is like a new magical episode with her,
really
because she is warm.
Sweet baby angel.
She is welcoming. She wants you to know how much she appreciates you as like a person that loves her movie and participates in like other things that she does. She loves you. It was wonderful.
We love her.
I raised my hand. I asked a question. I was like, Q&A, here I go. I asked her, Felissa, how can we, as horror fans, as fans of you, support your upcoming projects? I was so elated with her answer because she couldn't tell us.
She came and like straddled Justine and like rode her cowboy style.
Girl,
you
really know I was eating, I was munching on all that shit for sure. No, what Felissa Rose, sweet goddess baby angel Felissa Rose, told us was that she has so much shit in the works. She had to look at the Fangoria representative that was there this evening. And
that representative was like, you can't say anything.
That he was like, or she was like, finger up to her mouth, be quiet. It made me feel so good because I knew that like, okay, like no spoilers. She can't say anything because it's gonna like come out. She has several projects she mentioned. She did mention names, production companies, so she's got things coming out.
She said something about a TV movie. We know they're working on a really cool, like, you know, like inside story type documentary about Sleepaway Camp that she said even Pamela Springsteen's going to be involved in. If you guys know about Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, you know, as of late, Pamela Springsteen doesn't really come out of the woodwork. She doesn't show up for nothing. She is very elusive. She doesn't show her face or talk about the movie at all. So the fact that there's going to be a documentary with Pamela Springsteen is fucking rad.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, we had a great night.
It's been amazing.
It's been magical.
Kind of reeling.
Sleepaway Camp is one of our all-time favorites, which is obvious. Like we said, it was episode 2. So you know we kind of like it.
There were little tidbits, like being on the big screen that I saw, I will say, like at the very beginning, of the movie, when we get to see Angela when we get to see Felissa Rose for the first time as Angela, she has this barrette in her hair and it says Angela on it. I've seen this movie countless times now, guys. I did not see that her barrette said Angela until tonight. So there are like little things. This is why you want to see movies on the big screen.
So much more of the comedy was amplified by watching it. Like there were things in the background you could see better.
Oh my gosh, like the beefnicks just working out on the lawn.
So much like big packages in this movie. So many like tight short shorts. A lot of like yummy baskets right in our face.
In my face, like moose knuckle for days, guys.
Nice basket.
I was like looking around, like, is there any basket to see in 2019? Is anybody gonna pop out a basket for me? No. In fact, the guy cosplaying next to us didn't whip out his basket.
No, he didn't show us his dick. Well,
no baskets.
We saw Felissa Rose's dick.
Yeah, she'll always pull out her dick for you. That's for sure.
She loves showing her dick.
Okay, Josh, so since we covered Sleepaway Camp and we gave our knives ratings, and they weren't.
I don't even remember what knife rating I gave it back in the day, but just watching it now, it's definitely a 5-knife rated horror flick.
For sure.
It's like in the horror canon is like one of the best of the 80s, one of the campiest, quote unquote, of the 80s. You know, it's just great. It's funny. It's creepy. It's over the top. I mean, you get a curling iron in the pussy.
Judy's curling iron in the pussy. Guys, I was elated to see like all of these bully girls on screen again, but like
they're just a bunch of fucking bully goats. Is what they are.
I think the most part was just like the camaraderie of other Sleepaway Camp fans that were sitting. So we're front row. We don't see anybody behind. I had at one point to turn around because I was like, "Is this place full?" Yes, it was full. There was not an empty seat that I could see in the house.
And we had cocktails and beer. One of us might have thrown up after the movie. I'm not gonna say who. But it's because of my it was my acid reflux, okay?
I'm sorry, guys. It was his acid reflux.
I wasn't drunk. It was my acid reflux.
Oh my god. I think it was such a fun trip. So like, we just got back from Frightmare, and here we are again. We're in the Dallas area. Texas, you treat us so well.
Texas, we love your horror attitude.
Yes, you embrace it so much. Last week, we were like, oh my gosh, there's this whole other con going on. So now we're debating on how we're going to share our time between all these cons. We want to go to more. Oh man, just Felissa Rose. I want to go to wherever she's going.
The best horror spirit around. Like, she really is a good champion of horror. She's a good champion of the Sleepaway Camp movies. It's almost like she's dedicated her life to the cause of Sleepaway Camp, and I'm here for it.
And even bullying within it. Like, she
has such sweet answers when it comes to, like, where do you think Angela is now? Do you think she's happy with who she is? And she really takes the whole, like, transgender aspect of the movie seriously, and she says, Angela has found...
in her mind.
Yeah, and she says Angela has found peace, she's happy with herself, she is living as a transgender woman, I guess no longer murdering.
Hopefully.
Perhaps.
Yeah, in her world, she
she's
gets
happy
off.
with herself, yeah. We just love Felissa Rose. We were so happy we got to come to Dallas for just a few hours to do this.
Appreciated her coming here again next week. I mean, like,
coming on your face?
Here.
What? I missed that part.
She was just here last week, so knowing that, like, she probably went to New York, saw her family, like, saw her kids, came back, did it all again, and did it because she loves the fandom.
Yeah,
she loves the people.
We left and she was for free signing things in the lobby. We just saw her last week, had her sign things, so we just drunkenly shouted a few times, like, love you, Felissa, and then we left. I bought a queer Alamo Draft House shirt that I'm going to wear.
What?
Queer. It has the rainbow flag.
Queer.
And I'm excited about that.
Yes.
And now it's 11 o'clock at night, and we have a 3-hour drive back to Oklahoma City.
Yay for us! So we'll have to, like, pile on the gas, pile on the coffee, pile on all that shit.
We're going to get on the highway, drive maybe about an hour, and then get some coffee and gas and get ourselves back home.
Josh, this has been an amazing night for me. Thank you for coming with me.
Oh, thanks for coming with me.
You're my soul survivor, Mr. Josh!
And you're my final girl!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my God. This has been a
now
perfect horror night.
I'm like, now we're going to pitch everything. So
it's nights like this I feel so close to the horror community, and I just want to keep it going, that I want to be an even bigger part of the horror community.
I want to hug you guys.
Yeah, we love you.
I want to love you guys. So here we go. We're going to plug everything. Follow us on Instagram.
GreenQueensPodcast.com. Guys, I know we say this every episode, but we mean it, and it is important to us that you please go to iTunes or wherever you listen to us, rate and review us. The more reviews there are, the better chances we get of being sponsored or getting, just taken seriously. We've been doing this show for 40-something episodes now, and we love you guys. We have a nice following. We love our listeners and fans, but we could use more. We could use more help. We could use more. I mean, shit. Someone give us money so we can do better episodes. We
would love to go more places. I mean, don't worry about it. We're not stopping this at all. We're going to keep going. Josh and I have been doing road trips since we were in our teens together. So
I'm not going to say how old we are, but
can't stop. # can't stop, won't stop. That's within us. But
we need your help.
So rate, review us. We'd love to give you a shout out. So, like, if you rate, review us, we'd love to give your Instagram handle a shout out here on Scream Queens. Please, guys, we love you so much. This is why we do it. Horror fans all around. Horror is having such a wonderful renaissance in 2019. Let's keep it going. If you have the chance to see this on 35 millimeter, do it. Anything. If you have the chance to go and see something on 35 millimeter, you need to do it because it's
that was the way it was intended to be seen.
It's a dying breed.
Yeah.
It's sad.
No one shoots on film anymore.
Yeah.
And film is so textured and rich and beautiful to look at. Go support it. Anytime there's 35 millimeter screenings showing.
Something genuine about it being on that film, knowing that they had a limited amount of it and that they had to get it right. Everybody, there was a crunch in the moment. Everybody had to get it. Guys.
Get it, got it,
Get it, got it good.
We love you.
We love you.
Hope you enjoyed this little,
Best following.
our second off-road mini-sode.
We will see you in the summertime when we do another off-road
Yeah,
Minnesota.
the goal is to do at least one off-road mini-sode season. So
Yes.
here's our spring one. Hope you enjoy. Love you.
So happy spring. We love
Sleepaway
you.
Camp. Yay!
Bye.